You're from?
I'm Cinches, the Executive Director of Central Visayas Fisherfolk Development Center from Central Visayas, Philippines. This is Central Philippines. For almost a decade now, we are involved in the campaign against coal-fired power plant expansion in the Philippines because the government is like a mad dog pursuing the development of fossil fuels despite the problem of climate change and despite that these coal-fired power plants are parasitic to the communities because it feeds on its host and killing them along the way. Our campaign against coal-fired power plant is not just a political issue, but it is also a moral obligations for us because we can't afford for us, the Filipinos, to die because of inhaling fumes and toxic emissions from these coal-fired power plants and at the same time killing our food resources in that area as well. The campaign or the issue against coal-fired power plant is not just limited to a sector. We make it to a point that it is not just an issue of the farmers or the fisher folks, but the issue of the whole community, because we are not just talking about the effects on it to certain sectors, the children and the women, but the effects on it on a long-term basis when it comes to its effect. And at the same time, the campaign or the high consciousness of the community against coal-fired power plants is also an indicator, first, that we are enlightened and we have been educated on the ill effects and that the coal-fired power plants is more expensive than what the government wants us to believe that it is cheap. It's expensive because we are paying with our lives. We are also paying with a high cost of electricity. It is also an indicator, our campaign is also an indicator of that we can't just rely on our government to act for us, but there is a need for us to move, to organize, to bring change right now coming from the communities. Our campaign is not just limited to coal-fired power plant, but we are really expanding our horizons to keep fossil fuels on the ground by campaigning against this offshore oil and gas exploration. They wanted to, after destroying our lives and destroying our mountains, they are now shifting to the seas to extract oil and gas. That is not a very good move when there is an international initiative to cut our dependence from fossil fuel. We have been very successful. We were able to kick them out with the help of all the communities, but this is also what is sad is it's the government, they're trying to open it again. So basically our campaign against coal-fired power plant and fossil fuel, this is our contribution to global action against fossil fuel and for keeping fossil fuels to where it is supposed to belong. They should remain on the ground, we should not touch it, and let us pursue a sustainable lifestyle and sustainable use of our resources. There are other things. We have a choice. A coal-fired power plant and oil and gas is not our only choice. We have other choices that we need to explore, that we need to develop right now.